And so we are live streaming on Facebook, LinkedIn, YouTube, and Twitter. This is Coffee with a Lawyer every Monday morning, 9 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. It's our chance to get to be of service to the public and answer any questions you may have. Please know that there is no attorney-client confidentiality. There is no privilege. Will be third parties on the chat. Other people may sign in. So please know if you would like to speak about any specific legal matters, it's best to schedule a confidential consultation with an attorney. But we do have a guest today, and I'd like to give Joey the opportunity to ask any question he may have.
Oh my goodness. Wow. I didn't expect to be here singularly. So I'm like, I was kind of hoping to just fall into the background.
No problem.
So I don't know what kind of question to ask because I was going to listen first to see what was going on and then possibly ask the question. So can you ask a business type question?
Sure. Absolutely.
I'm starting an online course.
Mm-hmm.
And it's very new for me because I've never done an online course business before, realizing that it is a business, even though you're starting online, as opposed to brick and mortar studio. My course is a dance challenge course, being I'm an instructor. So I'm just trying to get it out of the gate, and it's been difficult because there are many things to set up. What are some of the legal things that one might need to have in place setting up an online type business?
Absolutely. Good question. There's a lot of things, starting from business formation. So you have that that legal shield to protect your business from liability, to separate your business assets from your personal assets, your personal liability from business liability. You'll want that legal shield. And you can do that by forming an LLC, which is probably the best entity formation for your situation. Beyond that, those are the formalities of your business. And you'll also need an operating agreement, especially if you're going to have other co-owners of your business. But right now, it seems like it's just you. So that's in terms of the legal for business formation aspect. There is other issues in terms of what to protect in your intellectual property portfolio for your business. What is the value of the business? What is that the crux of that is bringing in revenue for you? And it's going to be your videos. So you're going to want to protect them legally with copyright registration. So you can file your videos in MP4 formats with the U.S. Copyright Office to get a copyright certificate of registration. I would say that's important because it will prevent people from stealing your work or having counterfeits online. Also, your trademark, your business brand is always one of the most valuable pieces of intellectual property that you'll want to protect. Whether that's a logo or a word mark, you're going to want to have that registered so that you can prevent others from unfairly competing against you and infringing upon your trademark, your business brand. So those are the first things that come to mind. Business, legal formality. You want to be operating legally with the legal protection. I would suggest that you register with the Secretary of State for an LLC for your business. And then once you get the LLC, you can open a bank account, a business bank account. Sometimes some banks may require a minimum. You can also get an EIN number by submitting an SS4 with the IRS. You're going to need to have that tax identification number in order to open a bank account or even to do business, you will be taxed. And that brings up a good point, is that you wanted to ask a business question. And when it comes down to business, the ultimate determining factor is tax consequence. Uh, that is always the determining factor. Okay. Sorry for the call. Your business decisions will be driven by the tax consequence. Where you form your business, um, what kind of contracts that you enter into is always going to be determined by tax consequences. So I suggest that you also work with a CPA. Does that make sense? And it's
Yes,
go ahead.
All of the above, basically, I set into place the LLC. I formed a bank separate from my personal and so forth. So article of incorporating and the agreement, article agreement. So all that's set and put in place.
Good.
I just have another interesting question that I'm sure a lot of other people face, because it takes a lot of your own personal or an investor or whatever. I didn't choose an investor this go round and decided to sink it all, my investment, personal investment, into building the business itself. You mentioned that once you form it and you do have the bank account set up for the business, because it's such a draw to think your own personal into it, how do you use the funds to be able to take care of yourself at some point from the business? Because it's very, very important, because it leaves you pretty much, raw and with very little funds. Once you get to the point to set it up, how can you use some of that money from the business to take care of yourself personally?
I understand. Well, as a sole member LLC, if I believe correctly, that's how you're formed. I don't know. Do you have co-owners?
No.
So
solo.
Yeah.
It's so on.
So this is also why I believe you should work with an accountant. I believe you're required to take out a reasonable salary. Okay. There's just no way around it. You cannot commingle. You cannot pay for your personal necessities through business income. That money belongs to the business, and you can't commingle. You can pay yourself a salary, and the state tax services would have to withdraw. You will have to pay state employment taxes. Are you registered in California?
Yes.
Yes. It's a tough state to create a business because they have a very high annual franchise tax fee, 800, and they have a high corporate income tax. So you're getting taxed at a couple different levels. You have employer tax that you have to pay, since you will be paying yourself a salary. It's not required that you have workers' comp insurance since you're a sole member LLC. But if you take on other employees, you will have to obtain workers' comp insurance.
Yes. I get it. Yes. Okay. Yeah, I get it. It makes sense. And you're right. I think it's a 15 point something tax on the business itself. And then there's the, like you said, self-employment tax. And what about state tax? Is that it added on too?
We have information of all the taxes. If you're on my social media, I believe I have one post where it lists all the different types of taxes that you're responsible as a business owner. But there's a couple different taxes. If you have a payroll system provider such as ADP, they will withdraw the taxes for you when the salary is due.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But
Yeah.
you bring up a good point. And I go back to the determining factor for your business is based on tax consequences. You created a business in California, and that is a state that has high tax rates. There's other states that do not even have income tax. So they're more attractive to businesses being created in their jurisdiction. They're trying to attract economic growth. California is just a very high tax state. It's just their policies. They have very high taxes. It's a tough state to start a business. However, if you're doing business in California, you should create your business there. Because even if you do create your business in a different jurisdiction, if you're doing business in California, you're still required to register as a foreign business entity with the Secretary of State, and you're still subjected to their tax structure.
Yeah. Well, it would probably force some people to try to do business somewhere else because the tax brackets are so high.
Yes,
from their hometowns, wherever.
Yeah, and it does. And it does. Now, your business online coaching, you could probably register in another state, a more favorable tax haven state. However, depends on where your principal place of business is. Where are you located? If you're located in California and you're working there and you have a business registered in another state and you're trying to claim that you're not subjected to California's tax structure, is going to be difficult if you're physically present there.
Right. Yes. Okay, I get it. I have one other very important question that might affect others too. If one needs to apply for a business credit card just starting out as a new business, and is it possible to only use the $25,000 credit if your personal isn't strong. So this probably wouldn't happen.
I agree. Do you have
So with that,
do you have any other questions? We like to keep these relatively brief so we can get the week started.
Yeah.
One last question.
No, I just said that it seems like it would just be best to get the business started launching and then getting the money's revenue wise that way, as opposed to a hopeful applying for, a business credit or whatever and not getting it.
I agree.
That's it.
All right. Well, very
Thank
good.
you.
Yeah. Thank you, Joey. I'd like to say thank you for signing on. And I think that's about it for this week. We're here every Monday, 9 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. This can be your source to stay accountable. Check in with us every week. And I'd like to hear your updates and your progress. So I'd like to say thank you and say take care and take action. Bye bye.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. Bye.